Ladies and gentlemen, gather round, anime fans. Let's talk about a character who went from a blank slate to a legend painted in the most vibrant colors of triumph and tragedy. Let's talk about the Mist Hashira, Muichiro Tokito. Now, if you're from the US, you know we love a good underdog story. The kid from the wrong side of the tracks who makes it big. Well, imagine that, but with katanas and demons. Muichiro's origin story hits harder than a final boss in a From Software game. He started with a picture-perfect life-loving parents, a twin brother, a cozy cabin in the woods. It was the Demon Slayer version of a Norman Rockwell painting. But tragedy struck faster than a spoiler on social media. His parents were gone, and then, in a heart-wrenching twist, his brother, the only family he had left, was taken too. Ladies and gentlemen, let's dive deep into that first keynote, because Muichiro Tokito's journey isn't just a sad backstory, it's the ultimate American underdog narrative, rebooted and refined through fire and loss. If you think about the stories we love here in the US, from Rocky Balboa climbing those Philly steps to Steve Rogers becoming Captain America, they all share a core DNA, a profound transformation from obscurity and powerlessness into strength and legend. Muichiro's life follows this blueprint, but with a twist so devastating it makes most origin stories look like a stubbed toe. His beginning is the classic American dream, a pastoral fantasy. Picture it: a secluded, cozy cabin in the woods, not unlike something you'd find in the Pacific Northwest. A young boy with a loving, hard-working father and a gentle, caring mother. He had a built-in best friend and rival in his twin brother, Yuichiro. This was his perfect normal, his baseline. It was the prologue of his story, the calm before a storm of unimaginable horror. This is a crucial part of the underdog formula. We have to see what was lost to truly appreciate the climb back. It's Peter Parker living happily with Uncle Ben and Aunt May before the fateful spider bite and the subsequent tragedy. We need to see the whole picture to understand the value of the shattered pieces. The inciting incident, the tragedy that forges the underdog, hits Muichiro with the force of a freight train. It's not one blow, but a relentless series of them, a demolition of his entire world. First, his mother, then his father, gone. This alone would break most people. But the real gut punch, the moment that defines his entire character arc, is the loss of his twin brother, Yuichiro. This is the equivalent of a young Tony Stark not only losing his parents but watching his entire company and life's work be destroyed in front of him. The trauma is so absolute, so all-consuming, that his young mind can't process it. It doesn't just make him sad or angry, it forces a system shutdown. He doesn't just get over it, or use the pain for motivation right away. No, his psyche does the only thing it can to survive: it hits the emergency eject button. This is where the reborn part of our keynote truly begins. The amnesia isn't a cheesy plot device, it's a metaphorical death and rebirth. The old Muichiro, the one who knew love, family, and warmth, is effectively gone. He wakes up as a blank slate, a ghost. This is his rock bottom, the absolute 0 point from which every underdog must begin their ascent. Think of it like Bruce Wayne falling into the well and then later, as an adult, being trapped in a prison pit on the other side of the world. He has to climb out with no rope, with only the sheer, raw will to survive. The new Muichiro is detached, distant, and operating on pure, untamed instinct. He's a natural talent without a manual, a supercomputer running on a corrupted operating system. His prodigious rise to Hashira in 2 months is his version of the montage. You know the one. The hero trains relentlessly, mastering skills at an impossible rate. We don't see every single push-up, every single swing of the sword, but we see the breathtaking result. This is Muichiro becoming the Mist Hashira. He's the high school phenom who gets drafted straight to the majors, the tech whiz kid who drops out of college and invents a billion-dollar app in his garage. He has the raw talent, the stats, to be the best. But unlike a classic underdog who is fueled by a clear memory of their pain, Muichiro is fighting with a phantom limb of the soul. He's powerful, but he's empty. He's the underdog who has achieved external success but is still lost internally, which is a whole other layer of the struggle. He's won the race, but he has no idea why he was running. This sets the stage for the most important part of his comeback story, not just regaining his power, but reclaiming his past. The amnesia created a unique kind of underdog. He wasn't just the scrappy fighter everyone underestimated, he was a legend who had underestimated himself. His journey back to his memories during the Swordsmith village arc is the climax of his underdog rebirth. It's the moment he finds the missing instruction manual to his own soul. Remembering his father's lessons, his mother's smile, and his brother's sacrifice isn't just a nostalgic trip, it's him plugging back into his primary power source. The underdog wasn't just training to get strong, he was searching for his identity, and the moment he found it, he achieved a true, integrated power, the transparent world, that his prodigy alone self never could. He wasn't just reborn as a fighter, he was reborn as a complete person, finally fighting for something real again. That's the comeback story we can all cheer for. Let's get into the real heart of Muichiro's struggle, because his amnesia arc is so much more than just a convenient case of plot-induced memory loss. It's a powerful, gut-wrenching metaphor for something I think every single one of us in this room can relate to on some level: losing your spark. That's the core of our second keynote. Think about it. Have you ever been so burned out from work or school that you completely forgot why you even started in the first place? You're going through the motions, showing up, doing the tasks, maybe even excelling, but the passion, the core reason that used to drive you, has just vanished. It's like the color has drained from your world. That is the daily reality Muichiro lived for years. His incredible sword skills, his Hashira status, that was just him going through the motions at a genius level. He was the superstar athlete playing on autopilot, scoring touchdowns but feeling absolutely nothing in the end zone. The why was a complete and total blank. This is what makes his journey back so profoundly relatable. His recovery of memory isn't a simple flip of a switch, it's a brutal and beautiful confrontation with his own identity. When he's trapped by the demon Gyoko, facing his own mortality, the dam doesn't just break, it explodes. And what comes flooding back isn't just random facts. It's the sensory, emotional data of a life lived, the smell of his father's wood smoke, the feel of his mother's hand, the sound of his brother's voice. This is the crucial part: he doesn't just remember he had a family, he re-feels the love and the searing pain of that loss. It's the ultimate, find yourself, arc, but with demon-slaying stakes. And here's the powerful message for all of us: reconnecting with that past didn't make him weaker or more vulnerable. It did the exact opposite. It supercharged him. Remembering his father's philosophical lessons about gratitude and helping others wasn't just a nice memory, it was the key that unlocked his true potential, allowing him to awaken his demon slayer mark. His past, both the beautiful and the brutal parts, became the very fuel for his future. He realized that his power wasn't in forgetting the pain to become a cold, efficient weapon. His true, ultimate power was in remembering the love that made the pain matter. So, Muichiro's story teaches us that our past, our roots, and our core identity aren't weights holding us back. They are the foundation we build our strength upon. He is a walking, fighting reminder that you should never let the world make you forget what makes you, you. Because when you operate from that place of authentic self-knowledge, that's when you stop just going through the motions and start truly changing the world, whether it's in an office, a classroom, or a battlefield against an upper-ranked demon. He found his why again, and in doing so, he became legendary. Let's talk about one of the most satisfying character transformations in the entire series: Muichiro Tokito's journey from a lone wolf to a true brother in arms. This is a classic American character arc we see everywhere, from the maverick cop who plays by his own rules to the arrogant genius inventor who thinks they don't need a team. We love to see that character get humbled and learn the value of the squad. When we first meet Muichiro as the Mist Hashira, he is the absolute embodiment of this trope. He's the prodigy who is so naturally gifted, he's become insufferable. He's that brilliant gamer who can win any solo match but refuses to join a team because he thinks they'll just slow him down. When Tanjiro is desperately trying to get his help, Muichiro is dismissive, aloof, and literally ties him up and forgets about him. He's the ultimate solo act, operating with a cloud of "don't bother me" energy so thick you could cut it with his own sword. His philosophy was simple: I'm the best. I'll handle it myself. Everyone else is a liability. But the universe, as it often does, has a way of teaching harsh lessons to the arrogant. His near-fatal encounter with the Upper Moon 5, Gyoko, is his wake-up call. It's the moment the solo player gets absolutely schooled by a full team and realizes, oh, I can't do this alone. Beaten, broken, and on the verge of death, it's the memory of his past, specifically the memory of his brother, Yuichiro, who died protecting him, that shocks his system. He remembers that his very existence is a debt to someone else's sacrifice. He was never truly alone, he was standing on the shoulders of his brother this entire time, and he had just forgotten. This realization is the catalyst for one of the most epic power-ups in the series, but it's not just a physical one. Awakening his Demon Slayer mark isn't just about getting stronger, it's about fighting for a reason beyond himself. He rises from the rubble not as a colder, more efficient weapon, but as a protector. He saves Kotetsu, the young swordsmith, not because it's his mission, but because it's the right thing to do. He fights with a new fury, not for personal glory, but for the comrades who are counting on him. This is his Captain America, I can do this all day, moment, but fueled by the memory of family. From that point on, the lone wolf is gone. In the final battle against Kokushibo, he doesn't hesitate to throw himself into a fight he knows he can't win alone. He coordinates, he strategizes, he creates openings for Tsunemi and Guillaume. His final, devastating move, the one that turns the tide of the entire battle, is a suicide attack. It is the ultimate, selfless act of teamwork. He gives his life not in a solo display of power, but as a crucial piece of a larger strategy to ensure the victory of the team. He learned that the strength of the Demon Slayer Corps isn't a collection of powerful individuals, but a chain, where every link, every person, has a role to play in holding the line. He went from forgetting his comrades' names to etching his own name into history as a hero who fought and died for them. Let's land this thing by talking about legacy. Because in the end, a hero isn't defined by their power or their potential, but by what they do with it when everything is on the line. Muichiro Tokito's final, breathtaking stand against Kokushibo is more than just a death scene, it's his legacy, forged in the white-hot heat of ultimate adversity, and it's a moment that cements him not just as a prodigy, but as a pillar of the entire Demon Slayer Corps. Think of it like this: we have our sports legends here in the US. We talk about the quarterback who, in the final seconds of the Super Bowl, with a broken rib, throws a game-winning, Hail Mary, pass. They might not walk away from the field unharmed, but that single, courageous act defines their entire career forever. That is Muichiro in the Infinity Castle. He's a rookie, a kid, facing down the Michael Jordan of demons. The odds aren't just against him, they're a mathematical impossibility. He's outmatched, outskilled, and outclassed in every conceivable way. A lesser character would have been obliterated in an instant and forgotten. But this is where his entire journey crystallizes. This is the moment where the recovered memories, the rediscovered love for his comrades, and his unparalleled talent all converge into one perfect, decisive act. He knows he can't win. But he also knows that his role isn't to win the fight, it's to change it. His sacrifice is a strategic masterstroke. By turning his own body into a living, breathing prison, he does what no other Hashira on the field could do: he pins the unstoppable force. He creates the single, crucial opening that allows the heavy hitters, Guillaume and Tsunemi, to land their devastating blows. This is the ultimate team play. He is the offensive lineman who takes the hit so the running back can break through. He is the point guard who makes the no-look pass for the game-winning dunk. He took his genius, his once selfish prodigy talent, and used it as the ultimate tool for the team. His death wasn't a failure, it was a successful, calculated maneuver that saved the world. And that is the legacy of Muichiro Tokito. We don't just remember him as the boy who forgot everything. We remember him as the man who, in his final moments, remembered exactly what was most important: protecting the future for others. His name isn't etched in the history books because he became a Hashira in 2 months, it's etched there because he proved what it truly means to be one when it mattered most. He was a fleeting mist, yes, but a mist that settled over the entire battle, allowing his allies to see the path to victory. That's a legacy that echoes for an eternity.